Lesson 2.2, LLM Invocation and AI Processing.
Today's goal: master AI processing and build a content analyzer agent.
Welcome to Lesson 2.2. I'm Yannick and I'm here with Sarah. Today we're mastering the heart of AI agents, LLM Invocation and Processing.
This is where your agents become truly intelligent. We'll learn how to choose the right AI models and engineer prompts that produce professional quality results.
By the end of this lesson, you'll understand how to get consistent, high-quality outputs from AI models for any business or personal use case. First, let's understand model selection. Different AI models have different strengths, just like different tools in a workshop.
GPT-4o excels at complex reasoning and detailed analysis. Claude Sonnet is exceptional for creative writing and nuanced communication.
But here's what's exciting. Gemini 2.5 Flash and Perplexity have web access built in, meaning that they can access real-time information without separate web search steps.
GPT-4 provides strong general-purpose processing, while Claude Haiku offers speed and efficiency for simpler tasks.
Professional agent builders choose models strategically. Web-enabled models for current information, reasoning models for analysis, creative models for content generation. But model selection is only half the equation. Prompt engineering is what transforms AI potential into reliable business value.
Great prompts are like detailed instructions to a highly skilled assistant. The clearer and more specific you are, the better the results.
Notice the difference. Analyze this content versus you are a marketing expert. Analyze this blog post for SEO optimization opportunities and provide 3 specific recommendations with implementation steps.
Professional prompt engineering includes role definitions, specific instructions, output formatting, and relevant context.
Today we're building a content analyzer that demonstrates professional AI processing across multiple use cases.
This agent will show you model selection strategies, advanced prompting techniques, and how to create reliable AI workflows.
You'll learn to build agents that consistently produce professional quality analysis and recommendations.
Ready to unlock the full potential of AI processing?
Alright, let's create our content analyzer. We're going to name it. And we're going to set the description as a professional tool for content intelligence.
So we can head over to Actions and add our first input. And this will be the content they want analyzed. This could be articles, social media posts, documents, or any text. And you just copy and paste it into a text input. So the prompt can be input the content you want analyzed.
We're not going to put examples or a default value. We're going to name this out content text. I'm going to save that.
Now we're going to add a second action, and this is going to be our analysis type. So this is going to be a drop down in the get user input. And we're going to put the prompt as what type of analysis do you need? And we're going to put our options, which will be sentiment analysis, SEO optimization, audience engagement, content strategy, and competitive analysis.
And we're going to name this out analysis type. With no default value. Click save. Next, we're going to add another input with type text. And the prompt will be, who is your target audience, or what's the business context? And we're going to set our examples as startup founders, software buyers, fitness enthusiasts, just things like that. We're not going to put a default value. And we're going to name this out underscore target underscore audience. Save this.
Next we're going to have a processing step. So we're going to go add action, use AI, use Gen.ai, and we're going to use GPT-4o.
GPT-4o is good for more efficient tasks rather than 4.1, which can be more for complex. Alright, so now we're going to go and get our prompt. So you can either go to ChatGPT or we're going to head to Claude, which is similar, and we've already asked it for the prompt, and now we can just copy it and we can paste it. Claude is also a very useful tool. I'd recommend using it for some things. You could also always just use ChatGPT if it's easier. And we're going to name this out content structure. And click save. Next we're going to add another LLM call, but this time we're going to use a web-enabled one. So there's 2.5 Flash, which at the moment it might not be working, so we're going to use Perplexity, which also works. And also 2.5 Flash might not be as beneficial for larger, more complex tasks, so that's the reason we're going to use Perplexity. 2.5 Flash does work a little quicker, so for those smaller, quicker tasks, it can be better. And again, we're going to go to Claude for our prompt. Now we're just going to copy this and head back and paste it. And we're going to name this one out current context. And we're going to save this.
Next, we're going to add a third LLM step, which is the specialized analysis based on the type. So we're going to use Claude Sonnet as our model. And again, we're going to use Claude for our prompt. Paste that in. And we can name the variable out specialized insights.
And next we're going to add another LLM step. And this one will be for GPT-4o. Again, we're going to go to Claude and get our prompt. And we're just going to copy it. It's once you get to tasks that have a lot of prompts and they're going to have a lot of variables and many steps, it's probably more beneficial to go get ChatGPT or Claude to go write the prompt for you. With more simple ones, you can get away with writing it yourself, and especially if you know how to write a prompt, then that can also benefit you. But it's for the ease and the efficiency that you use ChatGPT or some LLM to give you your prompt. It's not always perfect if you don't tell it to be. So as you see here, it has these variables in the middle, and if some of them have a lot of text, it can make it a little choppy. We're just going to put these at the bottom. And put these here. It already has some of these, like this and content structure. And okay, we're going to name this out actionable recommendations. We're going to save this.
And now for our competitive analysis, we're going to add another LLM step using Perplexity because it is web-enabled. And again, we can go to Claude and grab our prompt from it.
And now we're just going to copy this and head back and paste it in. Always check. You see this variable here, it's probably okay because target audience isn't going to be a super long text. So now we can go here and we can name this out competitive intelligence. And we can save this.
And now our final LLM step is to synthesize this all together. So we're going to go add action, use AI, use Gen.ai, and this time we're also going to use GPT-4o. And grab our prompt from Claude.
Now we're going to copy this and head back. And this will just put everything together. Analysis type shouldn't be too long, so we can leave it in the middle. And then you have all of them at the bottom here, which all synthesize. And we're going to name this out comprehensive analysis. And we're going to save this. And finally, we're just going to put this into an output, show user output, and then insert our variable of out comprehensive analysis. And we're going to save it, and then we're going to publish changes, and we're going to click run. So for the type of content we want analyzed, we're going to do this article that we have already here, and we're just going to paste this in, and then here we're going to have content strategy, and our target audience will be startup founders. Now we're going to try this out and see how this goes. You can always look at the dev console, see how it goes together. This is how you can debug things. So if we do come upon an error, this is what we'll be using, along with looking at our agent workflow to make sure all the variables work. This is our agent workflow. This could take a little bit because we have a lot of LLM steps and those take time to work. Okay, so here is our content analysis report as we selected, and this kind of summarized, went through that article, talked about the specific aspects of it, and just like focused it towards startup founders who are trying to analyze through the content. There are many different ways you can play around with this. You can use different business contexts, you can use different types of analysis, you can obviously use different articles. I encourage everybody to play around, maybe you can change some things up in the prompts, or you can change some of your selections up here. This was a good example of how you can use many different types of LLMs. Use GPT-4o, use Perplexity, use Claude Sonnet. You could even use the other GPTs like GPT-4o or GPT-4o Mini. 4o Mini can run even faster if you're trying to do something quick, though it might not be as in-depth or to the same level as 4o.
Each of the LLMs have different strengths, and that's why it's good to use a variety of them for different purposes.
Yeah, and when you combine all the different strengths of all the different LLMs into one strong synthesized thing, it'll give you a stronger output and make you have a more comprehensive, powerful output compared to if you just use one, especially if you're trying to do a task or finish a task that has many different aspects to it, and that there could be many different benefits in the different LLMs. It's very, very good to try to experiment with them and test it out and get it all together.
Especially for something that's web-enabled, this can save you a lot of time because then maybe you don't always have to do a web search and scrape using Agent.ai because sometimes it's kind of inefficient. I recently did this on an agent I made for real estate. It was a hassle. There was lots of scrape blockers, so I used a web-enabled AI and it worked much better and was much faster. So it really just goes to show the different advantages of using different LLMs and how you can use them to make a better product.
Summary next steps. So today we learned how to master AI processing, strategic model selection, advanced prompt engineering, and multi-step AI workflows. Basically, we learned how the strategy behind using each model works. There's obviously more models than we used in this, but these are some of the main ones which you can use, and obviously go and test out other ones if you find them intriguing. Advanced prompt engineering, it's probably important to use ChatGPT or Claude for this. Prompt engineering, it's a good skill to know, but it can take some time to actually type it out and get the thought across to it, and if you can just get a good solid prompt from ChatGPT or Claude, then that can also work very well. Multi-step AI workflows, basically with these multiple different LLM calls, using them for different tasks, and then at the end combining them all together into one strong product. It works very well, and that's just kind of what we went over today.
Next, after this, you want to apply what you learned today and answer the mini quiz in the Google Classroom, which, as always, is linked in the description. And then head on to lesson 2.3, where we'll be discussing social media and professional integrations.